Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon and our continued coverage of Massive Darkness 2 and the hero classes that you can play as part of the game. So today we're going to be taking a look at another one of the highly requested classes, and that's the Druid class that, similar to the Tinker, I am personally very excited about playing. The Druid class easily is the most adaptable class to very quickly and easily, whatever type of hero you need at the moment in that specific turn, you can make it happen. Other classes, I feel like you have to kind of settle into a skill tree and decide early on what type of hero you're going to need. The Druid, however, can transform each turn and take on that role each individual turn. So let's quickly talk about what you need to set up the Druid. It's pretty straightforward. You have the Druid dashboard here where there's an individual track for each of the three creatures that you can transform into. So you're going to want to take these miniatures here and place them on top of their picture. I guess you don't have to do this, but this is what the instructions tell you to do. And then you're going to take your little trackers here, and you're going to, this is like sitting, there we go. Place them on the 2 spot, and you'll see there's a little white ring on that 2 spot as well. So that's pretty much the setup. Obviously, you'd want to go ahead and have your skill cards aside. You're going to pick a level 1 skill card, and other than that, setup is pretty standard. So for the mechanics of the Druid, you can, as a free action, you may transform forms once per turn. So you can go from your hero form into eagle form, and they tell you to place this here and move your hero miniature around, but I'm going to talk about why I don't think that's really necessary here in a second. When you transform, you'll notice that each form has a transformation ability. So for the eagle, it is peck, roll 1 orange die, deal wounds to enemy equal to the swords you roll. Basically, the bear can push enemies. The raccoon helps heroes gain mana, and even the heroes, you'll notice, have a transformation ability. So if you transform back into your standard hero form, you will increase any animal form track by 2. So what's the animal form tracks? Well, that's these 3 colored tracks here at the bottom: the ferocity track, the brawn track, and the flow track. You need these because these are essentially, think of them like mana, but for the creatures specifically. Now, at the beginning of each turn, you're going to push up each one of these 1 spot. So you're essentially throughout the game always gaining, form specific mana to be able to spend. But if you, for example, are the eagle, you would not move up the eagle track. Think of this thematically as like you are in that form, so it costs you energy to stay in that form. This also means that you don't want to just pick the eagle form and stay in it all game, because you're unlikely to gain anything in your ferocity track here in order to spend to do your actions. So anytime you are in your standard hero form, you're able to increase all of the forms 1 movement each time. So, and remember, if you transform, for example, Burko here, if you transform back into Burko, you get to push one of these up too, so you go boom, boom. And then you're going to spend these. This is just a counter, and you'll see on the bottom here that each one of them has a basic thing you can do for it. So if you spend 1 ferocity like that, you can re-roll during an attack, re-roll a die. For the bear, you can ignore the black die And for for the raccoon, you can gain an additional movement point. So the three forms are kind of meant to be: the eagle's kind of the attack heavy creature, the bear is the defense and tank heavy creature, and the raccoon is the increased movement slash can carry things, can help you recover mana, kind of the utility creature. But again, since you can change to each one of these for free at the beginning of your turn, you decide, what do I want to do on this turn? How can I be most useful to my group? And you transform into that creature. Just make sure you don't stay too long in that creature so that you can build up your power for that creature again. There is some limitations to each creature. None of them can recover. So if you are low on health, you have to transform back into your hero form in order to recover, either gain back mana or gain back health. The eagle cannot trade, interact, or open doors. So obviously you're not going to be wanting to travel around the board much with the eagle. The bear only has 1 movement point per move action, so very slow moving. And the raccoon cannot attack. So if you are in your raccoon form, keep that in mind, that if you transform into raccoon at the beginning of your turn, you basically are going to be in a support role for the rest of your turn. All right? So we are choosing which form we want to transform into. We have a little transformation free action that we get for transforming, and then we're spending our ferocity, brawn, or flow from this track, and you start at 2, so you don't start at 0 to do these actions. Now, our skill cards are basically going to give us additional actions that we can take and spend ferocity, brawn, and flow. So let's take a look at those here now. Now, what's interesting about, I'm just going to pick one out here for example, the skill card, if I can get it to focus here, they're double-sided. The kind of standard skill trees are all double-sided. So you'll notice the tenacity track helps bear form and raccoon form. Okay, and this little flip symbol down here on the bottom simply just means that you can flip this to whatever side makes the most sense. Now, if you're in eagle form, you don't need to really pay attention to this skill card. But if you're like this and you're in bear form, and then you switch the next turn, you're in raccoon form, you just flip the card. Okay? So tenacity is going to be for bear and raccoon. Savagery skill tree is going to be for eagle and bear. And the nimbleness one is going to be for raccoon and eagle. So you can also see that with 3 of them and 3 kind of basic skill trees, each one of them has an equal amount of skills you can add. But if you have a favorite form, you would definitely want to focus on one that at least has your animal in it. So tenacity here is going to give you the ability to basically take the damage. Tank if you're in bear form, or if you are in raccoon form, depending on how much you want to spend, you can either help everyone regain mana, or you can perform 1 free trade action. And as tenacity increases, those actions get better. Here we have savagery. This one is pretty straightforward for the eagle. You're basically adding 2 automatic successes, and on this side you are ignoring the slashes when you defend, and you're basically, it's a kickback. So you're hitting them back for each slash that you ignore. Again, that number increases as you increase that skill. And lastly, nimbleness here basically gives you additional movement, or not movement, but when you move, you do not take reaction damage. And you can see here, like, as it increases, you can actually take another hero with you. And then for the eagle side, I really like this one because you can move one and then attack. Now, you can only move one zone and perform an attack. You can't use nimbleness to, say, open a door. Remember, the eagle can't open a door or interact with anything. It's basically movement and attack is all it does. But those are the 3 basic skill trees. Again, they are set up so that they're double-sided, and you just flip them for free to whichever side makes the most sense. All right, the other two kind of support skill trees. One is Nature's Blessing here, and this is after transforming to your original form, so that would be, you know, your hero form here. You can increase the track of the animal form left by 1. Because remember, if you start your turn in eagle form, you would increase bear, raccoon, but not eagle. We'll say then you transform back into your druid form, you would increase eagle. So it kind of keeps everything the same. It's a, you know, it's not very fancy of a skill. It's not a lot of bling to it, but it is very sound. It's a very sound skill to have. And actually, if you get up to nimbleness 2, you're going to be increasing your animal form by 2. And the last one here is a pure defensive skill. So this is hide armor. So this is essentially like, you know, you have built-in armor, built-in defense with your eagle's wings or your, you know, your bear hide or whatever. Essentially, it's meaning you don't have to equip armor on your hero dashboard. You're going to get additional rolls and defense dice. And again, that just gets better. Look, if you get hide armor 2, you're rolling 4 defense dice with 1 free reroll, which is pretty good. One thing that was interesting to note, normally you're, you know, if you're in bear form, you're going to be spending brawn. If you're in eagle form, you're going to be spending ferocity. But if you play the Heavenfall expansion, where you can get above level 5, you'll notice that you can start spending, this requires, you know, additional savagery and nimbleness, but then you can, your attack spends 1 of each. So you actually, you know, almost want to keep a very balanced druid. But again, this seems like a really nice class. If you purchase the Druids and Beelzebub expansion pack, it is going to come with all these miniatures, so it's not like a token. You don't have to play with a token if you switch into eagle form. That's how it comes with the Tinkerer. The Tinkerer, if you're going to use its you know, mech armor or things like that, you just get a token, or a construct. You just get to throw a token on the board. This one actually comes with the miniatures, but there is only one hero type, hero class in the box. So take that with whatever you feel like is a better deal for something that's probably going to be similar priced. The last thing is the actual druids themselves. Unfortunately, we did not unlock any druids as part of the stretch goals. So there was no druids in the Darkbringer pack. I'd really like to see some more in the future. So for now, we just have these 2 that come in the small box expansion. Burko here, we already discussed what his transformation ability is, essentially increasing any animal form track by 2. And then his shadow effect allows you to use the transformation effect of any form for free. So you don't have to transform, but say you roll that shadow die, you could roll the orange die and deal some free damage, or you could regain some mana, or you could push an enemy, whatever it may be. And then Zuri here definitely seems to be a mix of like an alchemist type druid. She is focused on getting potions and then getting them back after you may have discarded them. This isn't quite as good because then you essentially have to find the potion first. But I guess once you find like a heal potion or a mana potion, I guess technically you're going to start the game with one. So, you know, you could just continue getting it back, which is kind of nice, I guess. But her shadow form allows you to increase each animal form track by 1 and gain 1, which is really nice. So again, the heroes have some nice touches to them, but the biggest thing for the druid is the various forms. You know, are you going to be attacking this round? Do you want to be a tank and soak up some damage, or do you need to assist and be a utility character? You don't have to fit yourself into that niche from the beginning of the game and push forward that way. You literally can swap and be a different thing each turn, which I think is a really nice asset of the druid. All right, so that's going to do it for our overview of the druid class. If you're enjoying these videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to the channel because we've got more to come. I'm going to finish up with the necromancer and monk class, and then we're going to do a video covering the scenery packs. which not 100% sure whether those are going to be, available in retail or not. But if you do come across a chance to purchase them, I want you to make sure you understand how much benefit they are providing to you. So we're going to cover the scenery after the hero classes. So be on the lookout for that. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.